If you want to improve your chances of getting a job in sport, then you have to understand how to read and interpret job descriptions and adverts effectively. So that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today in this video. Okay, so let's just start with the basics. So we're going to refer this back to a position for a football analyst at a club because, again, that is what I know the most. So when this particular club is hiring for an analyst, they will put out a job advert and a job description. So the advert is kind of a concise and catchy, attention-grabbing summary of the job. It provides an overview of the role, the organisation of the club, and what they're actually looking for in a candidate. So that's the job advert, and it will include the job description, which is kind of a document or a part of the document that describes kind of the breakdown of the role, the responsibilities, what you'd actually be doing if you were successful, the qualifications that they're looking for, and the skills required. So you've got the job advert and the job description. So what a lot of people will do, and this is the first mistake they'll make, they won't properly read this. They'll just see the club, they will see the position of the analyst, they will already have a CV ready, and they'll just send that CV off and hope for the best. As you can imagine, that is probably not the best thing to do. So the whole CV and having it tailored is something for another video, which I do have a video on that, that I've done before. So you don't want to be just sending generic CVs out to, the same CV out to every single job. You definitely do want to tailor your application, but that's not what this video is about. This is about the actual description and advert. So the first thing you would do after seeing this is you want to actually start to read it properly and analyze it and break this thing down. Okay, so firstly, obviously it's going to tell you what the club is or the organisation, so you can kind of understand the actual role and what they are actually hiring for. So let's say it is a football team. Can you research their kind of playing style, their philosophy, their culture? Can you see if they've done anything recently that's worth noting in your application? So maybe it is an academy position and they've done really well in the youth cup, for example. So you can go and you can learn about the club. You can research that. You can see who's already working there. Maybe you might have a link to somebody else that knows somebody already working there. So that's the first thing. You can do your research on the actual club or the organization that is hiring for this particular position. Okay, so let's get to the key responsibilities. So these are the primary duties listed by the employer that you'll probably be doing or undertaking if you were to be successful in this particular role. So they are the core functions of this job. So what you can do here is you can sit down and you compare these responsibilities to the skills and experiences that you actually have, whether that be from university or whether that be in a previous role. So they will literally list out exactly what they will be expecting you to do if you were to get this job. And all you can do here is just kind of go down and say, okay, yes, I've done that before. Yes, I can demonstrate I can do that. Okay, so maybe there is something in there that you haven't done before or you're looking to learn. So just make a note of that, kind of clock that in there. So that is something that you might want to then kind of go away and get some CPD on and improve on. So that's where you can kind of understand what skills you need to improve on, and maybe you need to gain a extra qualification, or you need to learn something about something that you maybe didn't, you haven't done so much of before. So here it's just about kind of considering how your current skill set can be adapted to meet the requirements of the club or organization. Okay, so link closely to the roles and responsibilities, and you're going to do a similar step here for the qualifications and experience. So the job advert and post will list down what they're expecting you to have, and that might be a degree, specific certifications, different courses. So it could be a master's degree, it could be a coaching qualification, for example. So I would make a list of these. Again, check these against what you currently have, but also you can do this in advance of graduating, for example. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm in year 2 at university now, when I leave university, I want to be a football analyst. You can start looking at the job descriptions now and start to then kind of mold your journey towards what the clubs are after. So if you're in year 2, obviously you've not finished your degree yet, but then if you're looking at these job adverts and descriptions that are saying, okay, I need a degree, and I've started to notice now, you've probably noticed yourself that a lot are now asking for coaching qualifications. So that might be something that you think, okay, I'm in year 2 now. I want to get, when I get to the point of graduation, I'm going to have my degree done, but I also want to be competent. I want to be competent in data analysis, and I also want to have a coaching qualification. So you can see in advance what the clubs are going to want. So then you can kind of guide your kind of pathway to be able to get those qualifications and experiences. So also, again, same thing goes for skills. So they're going to list things like communication, kind of teamwork, problem solving, presenting to groups of people, etc. So let's say you are not very confident in presenting. That's something that you can be kind of working on in time. So you can kind of highlight how your skills align with the skills and requirements on the application, and look for the ones that they will usually list preferred or desired. So again, that kind of tells you which ones they feel are more important to the role, which ones are must-haves, which ones are nice-to-haves. And obviously, if you have all of the must-haves and a lot of the nice-to-haves, then that's going to set you apart from the other candidates. Okay, so the next stage is what I would call bridging the gap. So once you've identified the skills and qualifications required, you can take proactive steps to basically fill any holes that your application has. So, once you've done that and you've seen everything that the clubs are after, and if you've done that for a number of different roles, you'll start to see some consistency. So let's say, for example, you have noticed that a lot of the analyst positions now are starting to ask for coaching qualifications. So if you don't have that, then that's pretty straightforward, that if you want to be an analyst, you're starting to see a trend that, they are asking for coaching qualifications. You're probably going to benefit from doing that over the long run. So if you are, again, still at uni, you can kind of mold your journey to be able to get the qualifications and the certifications that these kind of clubs are wanting. So, when it comes to bridging the gap, I would say there's probably four areas on this. So you've got education and training, so that could be enrolling on a coaching course. It could be doing a data analysis course to basically improve your skills using Python or R or Tableau, etc. So you've got education and training. You've also got networking, which again something I speak about very, very a lot. So that is get yourself on LinkedIn, network with other people. Again, it can be other people that are in the same kind of position as you. It can be people that are in the jobs that you want to get in. So this could be online, it could be at events or conferences or workshops. So basically expand your network and basically have a plan of what you're going to do in terms of the education and training. And then when it comes to also learning additional skills, going back to the responsibilities that some of the clubs may have listed, you might only be able to get these by being in a club setting. And this is where kind of volunteering and interning can come into play. So if you think, okay, I've got X, Y, and Z, but I need this other skill and I'm probably not going to get that on my own outside of a club, I need to get in and get one. Be proactive and kind of network with analysts. Can you get in and help out for a few weeks at a club with someone that and learn from them and get that extra experience that maybe you have been lacking, and then that can kind of go, once you've got that makes your application a hell of a lot more attractive. And then aside from that, you've also got online resources. So you've got things, there's webinars online, there's YouTube videos, and there's forums, there's blogs that you can be a part of. Just helps you stay up with kind of the trends in the industry and things, as things change, you don't want to be left behind. So you want to always be kind of developing yourself and kind of staying in line with what the job applications are asking for. So again, this is not just a one-time thing. You wouldn't just do this, look at all the applications, formulate a plan, and then you're done. You want to see, because obviously these applications are going to start changing. So as new technology comes in or new trends come in with the clubs, they're going to want new things in the people that they're hiring. So you need to be kind of adaptable and always be changing your skill set, learning, and always kind of becoming a better analyst in this case. Okay, so before we continue, just want to quickly ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you're finding value from this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you are wanting tips like this for free every single week in your inbox, every Sunday evening I send an email out to people subscribed to the newsletter. There's a link down below the video which you can click on, subscribe, get these direct to your inbox so you never miss anything. And that is employment tips and just general things around the sports industry. So that's linked down below the video. And again, please do subscribe. It does help the channel to grow. Okay, so once you have analysed the job description and you've kind of put the wheels in motion to start bridging the gap when it comes to the skills, the next step is to craft your application. So again, like I mentioned right at the start of the video, you want to tailor the application to this particular job, and you want to be able to showcase your skills, experience, and qualifications and show exactly how they align with the job requirements for this particular job. So for this, I would use specific examples and metrics to highlight these accomplishments. So if the club, if the job that you're applying for is asking for a particular skill set when it comes to working with academy players, and you've done that before, show them and tell them exactly how you've done that and how that has worked well in previous roles. So, obviously you might not hit every single criteria that they've mentioned. Yes, you might be working towards that in terms of bridging the gap, but don't focus on that here. Focus on your strengths and double down on them. So definitely tailor the application to the specific job. Show them exactly what they've told you what they want, so you can just give them what they want basically in this case, and that comes with your skills, getting across your qualifications, and your experiences perfectly in both a cover letter and a CV. I've got other videos on this channel which are going to help you to craft your application, and that goes to CV and also how to craft a proper tailored cover letter, and the cover letter can help to get kind of your enthusiasm and your commitment across. So again, check those videos out if you're wanting help with CVs and cover letters. Okay, so as a summary then, so understanding how to dissect job adverts and descriptions is a crucial skill in the quest for employment in the sports industry. So we all know how competitive it is to get a job in the industry. So why not take the time to look over the descriptions and really tailor and craft your application to that job to give you the best chance to actually be successful. So by analysing the documents in terms of the description and the adverts, you can identify the necessary skills and qualifications and take then proactive steps to fill any gaps that you notice. And obviously that will then improve your chances of being successful. So remember, dedication and continuous self-improvement are keys to success in a highly competitive field such as sport. So hopefully you enjoyed that video and found it useful. So if you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.